Wow. All right. First off, welcome back to Footballology. I want to apologize for not posting a day three video. I didn't want to this year because of how deep this defensive class was. It's just, it's awesome. It's an awesome defensive side of the ball this year. We're going to start off with the defensive lineman. First off, I will admit up front, at first, I wasn't a Myles Garrett fan because everyone kept talking him up. And I hate when people start talking up players because I feel like they're trying to force feed us certain players. And they're like, oh, this guy's really good, this guy's really good, this guy's really good. I hate that. I just can't stand it. So I didn't want to have any part with Myles Garrett. At the end of the day, he showed up at the combine and completely ripped it apart, made the combine his, pretty much. Like, he just made it his. But he wasn't the only one. Also, you had Brian Cox was a good. He looked like a solid defensive lineman out there. Martravius Adams was a guy that was on our spotlight list. He looked amazing when he showed up. And then obviously Jonathan Allen being the other guy, the other D lineman that looked really good. Derek Barnett, I didn't know anything about him, but they kept talking about him, and he was a guy that was actually sick. He showed up, and it was amazing what he could have did, what he did, and what he could have done if he was healthy, or at least wasn't under the weather. But he still showed up and showed out. Carl Lawson was the guy that was on my list from the combine that I actually enjoyed watching. I felt like that did really well from the defensive line. McKinney from UCLA was a defensive lineman that looked really good. Hassan Reddick was a good defensive lineman. I don't think he's not gonna be a defensive lineman. Obviously, he's gonna go to the middle linebacker position and definitely neutralize all that what the tight ends and the receivers did on day two. He's gonna help neutralize a lot of that. Derek Rivers was another guy in our spotlight. I think I enjoyed his work and what he brought to the table. Dalvin Tomlinson, like another defensive lineman from Bama. Jordan Williams, Jordan Williams, Jordan Willis. There it is. Was another guy that showed up and definitely worked out really well. I was a big fan of his. Charles Walker from Oklahoma. He looked good. I know he had some concussion issues they kept talking about, and the reason why he didn't play the following year or this last year. And then we move over to the linebacker position. That's where Hassan Reddick belongs. You put him in that group, he's still going to be a beast. He looked amazing. I wish Reuben Foster could have worked out. That was a guy that I was going to be personally excited to watch, but he looked decent. Oh, he didn't look decent, but he's a guy that we're going to have to watch through this process. And hopefully whatever happened with that, it's nothing big and that he can actually still be a first-round draft pick because I think he's that quality. Zach Cunningham was a guy that definitely helped out his stock. I think he's going to be a guy that you can see go in the first round and be awesome. We had some other good guys out there, some decent pass rushers, honestly. McMillan from Ohio State was another guy that looked amazing. Jabril Peppers at the linebacker position looked amazing. Once again, you switch Jabril, put him at D-back, take Hassan from the D-line, put him in linebacker, and then the world is a better place. But the linebackers definitely looked amazing and looked good, or just the pass rushers in general, the edge rushers, the hybrid guys, if you will. They looked good. And then we're going to move on to today. Today, 4, the final day, because the combine's wrapped up today. And the D-backs were amazing today. And that's why I opened up with a wow. The first group of D-backs that they showed, the 1 through 30 D-backs, they were just straight technicians. Not a lot of blazing speed, but quality speed. Don't get me wrong. What they posted was quality speed. It wasn't blazing, but it was quality. And then you post the second group. The second groups were straight athletes. The 30 to 60 guys, they were straight athletes. They were straight blazers. They came to the track and they ran, they jumped, they did everything. Not saying they lacked technique either. They had some quality technique, but it wasn't as good as the first group of guys. Jamal Adams from LSU was another guy that showed up and showed out. He was amazing. Rasul Douglas was always on my watch list from West Virginia. He looked solid. He was on my watch list. Shaquille Griffin was the guy that came in and made money. You know, he definitely drove his stock up. At best, early second, that mid to early second round guy that you're going to get at the cornerback position and feel completely quality about and not bat an eye, like not feel like you missed out on anything. Jackson from UCLA looked really good. He was a guy that is awesome and showed up and showed out once again. Humphreys from Bama showed up. Who was else? I got Josh Jones on my watch list from NC State. He looked good. And I think there was one other guy. Oh, Obi. I don't know what I said, Obi from UConn. He definitely showed up, jumped out of the gym, and showed out. So I mean, basically the list goes on. Like my list right now just looks like a big coloring board. Like it's highlighted everywhere with a lot of these guys. And the reason why I wanted to combine the 2 days is because yesterday and today had me thinking, and I was thinking prior to the combine as well, but had me really thinking. I was like, this is a really deep and talented class. When's the last time we seen something like this? And I thought to myself, the Super Bowl NFL draft class. And I call it the Super Bowl draft class. And the reason why I call it the Super Bowl draft class is because it was the 2011 draft class. In that draft class, Cam Newton went number 1 overall. Okay? So a 1-year starting quarterback that won the Heisman, a lot of people were unsure about. And everyone was like, oh, maybe. But Carolina should go with this guy. Carolina still took Cam Newton. So we have the 1-year starter guy that everyone's high on, Mitchell Trubisky. And then we had the Texas A&M pass rusher, Von Miller / Myles Garrett this year. And then we had the Bama lineman, Marcel Dyers, 2011, and Jonathan Allen this year. So it's like, there you go. Your top 3 picks are very similar to those top 3 picks. The Super Bowl draft is what I call it. Is because you also had Julio that was just in the Super Bowl in that class as well. That class was loaded at the top end of that class, but also at the later parts of that class. Not as loaded with, household names, if you will, but definitely loaded with guys that are still contributing this till today on a lot of these teams that they were drafted by, or some other teams that they got picked up through via free agency or trades or whatever it may be. We had Ryan Kerrigan, which was a guy that built his stock up. He was a guy that didn't have any stock, I felt like, going into that process. I remember. And he did a lot of like skills challenges, the bowl games, if you will. He did whatever it took to get his stock up there, and went to the combine, took care of business, got drafted in the first round by the Skins, and has been a solid player for them as well. Prince Amukamara, once again, like I said, he's not a Pro Bowl guy, but he's been a guy that showed up for the Giants when he was healthy. Got picked up via free agency by Jacksonville recently, and he's shown up for Jacksonville as well. Jimmy Smith is a guy that I feel like that they're still trying to find his way, but he's definitely a guy that can almost get there. It's crazy because he's from Colorado, and we got Colorado D-backs in this draft. So it's like, I keep drawing comparisons to this class to the other class, or to this class, and it's crazy. But now on the flip side, and this is a possibility also that happened in this 2011 class, we had Blaine Gabbert, we had Christian Ponder, and we had Jake Locker. Those are 3 quarterbacks that people were very unsure about, which we have that in this class too. We have multiple quarterbacks people that are extremely unsure about, that people are still saying, I'm going to go take them in the first round, or potentially might grab them in the first round. So with that all being said and wrapped up into one, you got to watch out and be careful with some of these quarterbacks, because if you're not completely 100%, I would say Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck is not every draft. Let's be real. But if you're not Andrew Lucking on a quarterback, and like, I'm signing him because I know I got the number 1 overall pick, he's already at camp. Like, next, number 2 is the actual pick on board right now before the draft even kicks off. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, there's no solid, I feel comfortable taking quarterbacks in this class. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Deshaun Watson. If I was in Cleveland spot, Myles Garrett sounds amazing. And the reason why Myles Garrett sounds amazing is because Von Miller made Myles Garrett money. Okay, let me get wrong. Von Miller went number 2 overall, but Von Miller also was the MVP of the Super Bowl. Okay, so you have that in your back pocket if you're Cleveland. You're like, well, I can get a Texas A&M pass rusher that could potentially be Super Bowl MVP. I'm not saying that Myles Garrett is going to take the Browns to the bowl, but it's just, that's your correlation, if you will. And I'm still looking at this draft class. It's impressive, man. We had Muhammad Wilkerson that went 30 overall from Temple, and we got Temple players that are coming out this year that looked amazing. So, the list just goes on and on and on. The comparisons to this class. So then we had Dalton in the second round that year. We can get some second round quarterbacks this year that I feel like they can still put up numbers like Andy Dalton. Kyle Rudolph, which was another impressive tight end. Oh, man, Cameron Jordan, which was a defensive end that was an extremely good pass rusher from Cal. The list just goes on and on and on. It's just crazy the level of comparisons that we have here. Like, I'm looking at the list, and I can't stop looking at the list because some of the names on here. We had Julius Thomas to go in the 4th round. I'm not a fan of Julius Thomas, but he showed up and showed out for Denver when he had an opportunity. He had Jordan Cameron in the 4th round. He was another guy that has shown up for Cleveland that I felt like was still a quality tight end and is still contributing to teams today. Jorrell Casey from USC. Oh man, it's crazy how impressive this class really is. We had Jay Houston in the 3rd round from Georgia. Come on, great pass rusher. DeMarco Murray in the 3rd round. Oh, if you guys get an opportunity to, I'm telling you, just go look at this 2013 class. From 1 to 4, you're getting quality picks. You're from 1 to the 1st to the 4th round. You're looking at guys and you're saying, really? I think even we had Dwayne Harris. Okay, Tyrod Taylor went in the 6th round that year, and I think, don't quote me, I could have sworn I seen his name. I'm gonna say Richard Sherman in the 5th. Yep, there he is, Richard Sherman in the 5th from Stanford. So I mean, yeah, it's there. That's what kind of class this is. That's the perfect correlation. We have Buster Screens, which is the guy that's playing for Dallas now. Not Dallas, sorry, he's playing for the Jets now, and he's showing up and taking care of business for the Jets. So it's like the list goes on of comparisons level of these two drafts. These drafts are very mirror images of one another, and so what you're basically seeing is you're starting to see people jump up the board like a Richard Sherman that went in the 5th round that year. Richard Sherman made some of these D-backs today that ran a 4.5 or whatever. That looked decent, but you wasn't extremely sure about. Richard Sherman made those guys money because Richard Sherman came out, showed that he can ball out. So now that these corners that were going to go, they could have potentially gone the 3rd or 4th round because you're just unsure of what they can bring to the table because of their speed. You're now going to take in the 2nd round, but you know what you're getting because of if they can be half the corner, or at least 3/4 of the corner that Richard Sherman is, you're not going to miss a beat. We had Parnell McPhee that actually went in that draft as well. Oh man, I've looked at this class numerous times, and every time I go through this class, I just see more and more names that jump off the list at me, and it's crazy. It just blows my mind of how deep and talented this class really was, and they gave this class props, if you will, for what they did as far as being represented in the Super Bowl with the quarterback and then Devon Miller being the pass rusher. But when you really take this class in and you actually breathe it in, it's one of the better classes through and through. I mean, you just, like I said, names are just consistently jumping off the list. Byron Maxwell, he's not, in my opinion, great or amazing, but he was a guy that showed up for Seattle and showed out. Charles Clay, they have him listed as a fullback right here. He showed up for Miami, and he's shown out for Miami multiple times. Oh, it's impressive. Like, if you guys just get a moment, like, I'm all into this draft class of what we got now. Bilal Powell is a guy that's trying to show up for the Jets right now, and hopefully he gets his opportunity because he's actually fairly decent. He's not bad. He was a guy that went late. I mean, it's impressive. Sam Acho, he was a guy I was a fan of that looked pretty decent, that I thought could take care of business if he had the opportunity to. So you couldn't go wrong in this class is what I'm saying. And this is, fast forward back to 2017, you can't go wrong in this class either. So it's just, I don't know. I'm lost for words. And my next thing that I wanted to bring up as well is with all these great D-backs that are coming out. Not great. I'm not going to call them great because we don't know if they're going to be great yet. But with the quality of talent of these D-backs coming out this year is exactly what the NFL needed. And the reason why I say that is because now the playing field is about to go back to 50-50. When that 2014 draft class came out with all those receivers, the playing field got tipped into the offensive side of the ball's favor. I mean, you had OBJ, we had Mike Evans, Calvin Benjamin, Sammy Watkins. So you pretty much, when it came to the receiver position, Eric Ebron was another guy. When it came to the receiver position, you pretty much the field got tipped into the offensive side of the ball. Like, you couldn't do anything about that. Derek Carr came out that year. So, I mean, you didn't have the D-backs from 2014 until this draft class. You didn't have any D-backs that could really cover these guys and really take care of these guys. So we've been seeing Mike Evans get off. We've been seeing OBJ get off. We've seen Jarvis Landry get off. We've seen so many players get off from this 2014 draft class. Devontae Adams, come on. Devontae Adams came out that year. Allen Robinson came out that year. So, I mean, now you see what I'm saying? Like, this receiver class is the equivalency or this D-back 2017 D-back class is the equivalency of the receiver class of 2014. This class, this 2017 class, could be NFL changing. Like, I'm talking about league-wide changing, as the players that are coming out in this class are, in my opinion, drawing comparisons to 2011 draft class and the 2014, the anti-2014 draft class. Let's call 2017 from this point on the anti-2014 draft class. That's what 2017 class is. It is exactly what the NFL needed from just a complete, just balancing the league out. The league was very offensive heavy for these years, and this class did it to him. I mean, Devontae Freeman went in the fourth round. The fourth round that year in 2014 had Trey Turner go to Carolina. He was a definitely good pick. Ross Carkwell is a guy that's starting to show up for Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm kind of flying through this list now. But 2014 was a class that was extremely offensive heavy, and you guys know what I mean. So, with all that being said and all that happening, I'm excited for this 2017 class. They had list off teams that had the most picks in this class, and the Chiefs were one of the two teams, or I guess second place teams, if you will, that had 10 picks. So, for us to have 10 picks this year, just from a Chiefs perspective, I'm extremely excited. I'm so excited about this draft class now. Going into this situation, going into this process, I was really down on it, and I didn't like it. I was very unsure of it because I hadn't done any research. I'm going to be completely honest. Kind of let everything I pull myself away from it and just let everything funnel in, if you will. And now that I'm sitting here and I'm looking at everything, and I'm reading everything, and I'm watching everything, this class is extremely scary and extremely impressive. I'm telling you, it is league-changing impressive. Blake Bortles came out that year. I mean, he's not done anything great yet, but Blake Bortles is still amazing passing quarterback. We had some backers come out that year. We had Barr, Mosley. I just had them too. We had a couple of people come out that year that was crazy, legit. Clint Dix came out that year. Jason Verrett. So we had some defenders come out that year. In 2014, don't get me wrong, but those receivers were just that much more talented, I think, than what was already in the league, and then what had came in the league with them and then following them until this class. This 2017 class, the anti-2014 class, is about to balance the league out, and we're about to see a lot of good football for the next 2 to 3 years, because football recently has been a little sloppy in my opinion, but now the quality of football is about to come back. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. Anyways, I'm sorry that this video is so long. I kind of wanted to just, like I said, I wanted to bring it all into one big full circle and just tell you guys where my mind is and how I'm thinking right now. This 2017 class is going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not a footballologist yet, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and become a footballologist today. We got a lot of great content about to come your way with this class. We got to do a lot of digging. We got to do a lot of research, because this class is going to be impressive from 1 to 5, like just for sure. From first round to the 5th round, you got to watch where everybody goes, because this class is going to tear it up this year. And stay safe, football fans.